What's up, my friend? Abby here, and welcome back to Writer's Life Wednesdays, where we come together to help you make your story matter and make your author dreams come true. The inciting incident is quite possibly the most important moment in your story. It is that first moment when your character is pushed outside their comfort zone and set on the path that will take them on a life-changing journey. A well-written inciting incident can capture our attention, stoke our curiosity, and pull us right into the story and make us immersed in the story, make us curious and desperate to know what happens next. But if you write this pivotal moment the wrong way, you're in danger of boring your reader and losing their interest before they even get to the good stuff. In this video, I'm going to share the do's and don'ts of writing inciting incidents, common mistakes that I've seen a lot of writers make, and how to avoid these pitfalls so that you can immediately hook your reader, pull them in, make them care about the characters, and hold their attention for the rest of the story. Let's go.
Why does your story matter? Good question. What if I told you that there's a science behind every great story? I don't just teach you how to write. I teach you how to change the world with your story and make your author dreams come true.
Before we get into this list of do's and don'ts, I want to ask you to take a quick second to hit the subscribe button below this video. Not only does it ensure that my content rises to the top, but it also makes sure that you never miss a new video or live training or special event from me as we explore writing and publishing together. So take a second to hit the subscribe button and join the community because I'd love to have you here. First, we're going to talk about the don'ts, and then we'll talk about the do's. Number one, don't make your inciting incident a high-stakes situation for anyone to deal with. This is the number one biggest mistake that I see writers make, and it immediately turns your characters into passive punching bags for the plot. Why? Because think about it. If this inciting incident has the same implications, the same stakes for any character in your story, well, then it's not specific to the protagonist, is it? We could be following any character in the story, and the same story would unfold. That's basically the main difference between plot-driven stories and character-driven stories. With a plot-driven story, you have a series of events happening to characters who are passively reacting to what's happening, but they don't have a clear goal. They don't make active decisions based on their internal conflict. They kind of just get knocked around by the punches of the plot. And when you go down that path, you'll eventually find that your story is hollow at its core. There's no meaning, there's no depth behind it, because the character isn't driven by a fatal flaw. They're just being whacked around like a punching bag. That's why stories that start off with a typical do or die scenario or a survival scenario oftentimes fall short, and they feel lackluster because they're missing that key ingredient of why does it matter specifically to this person we're following. Quick example, say you're writing a story where the main protagonist, the inciting incident is that they fall off the roof and break their arm. Bad for anyone to deal with, right? Nobody wants to deal with that. But let's say your protagonist is a prize fighter whose entire future hinges on his ability to use his arms, and maybe his father always made him feel like he could never pursue this dream, never make anything out of his life, and he's on this mission, this goal to pursue this path of being a professional boxer, and now falling off the roof suddenly became a whole lot more personal. Number two, don't wait too long to make your inciting incident happen. It is never too soon to push your character outside their comfort zone. That's the motto that I live by as a writer. The sooner you can make the inciting incident happen, the better. I've seen this done badly so many times in books or movies or TV shows. It takes forever for anything to really happen, for the story to really kick into gear. We have chapters of world building, magic explanation, daily routines, what they eat for breakfast, what time they go to bed, what they do for work. Nobody cares. Because here's the awful truth. When someone starts reading your book, you have precious little time to make them care about the characters. Don't waste time on the boring stuff, the insignificant stuff, the stuff that does not pertain to their internal conflict, their deepest struggles, what they want in life, their fatal flaw. That's what really matters. And using those first few chapters as just info dumping and exposition on the stuff that doesn't really matter, it's kind of like explaining how an engine works before we can actually get in the car and drive somewhere. Like, don't. Let's just step on the gas and get out of here. Don't make your inciting incident easily resolved. The inciting incident is obviously the first big thing that's going to happen that will shove your protagonist outside their comfort zone and into the ring with their greatest fears. Which means it's the first domino that falls and sets off this chain reaction of conflict. Some writers make the mistake of resolving that conflict too quickly, which forces them to make this sharp turn in direction of where the plot is going and almost frantically search for new obstacles and struggles to throw at our protagonist. Stories like this often feel meandering and pointless, like they don't have a clear sense of structure. There's not a clear roadmap to the protagonist's goal. All because the inciting incident's conflict was resolved too quickly. The inciting incident should force your character into this new discomfort zone, this danger zone of conflict. And it should also give them a clear roadmap going forward of the ultimate goal that they're pursuing. Not an open and shut case of discomfort that is easily avoided or solved by some random twist of the plot, which then forces the whole story to take another direction. Okay, now before we go into the do's on the flip side of how to actually write the inciting incident, I want to quickly interrupt myself here to tell you about a special live training that I'm hosting this weekend all about diving deeper into the inciting incident. So in this video, I'm just giving some quick tips, ways to make your inciting incident more juicy and compelling. But in this training, we're going to go even deeper and look at step by step the science of what makes a compelling, gripping, inciting incident with story examples. In this training, you will learn how to weave your character's internal conflict with the external conflict, making your inciting incident matter uniquely to your protagonist, how to take a do or die scenario and make it character driven, the 4-step dance that will effortlessly keep the conflict coming and bring your characters on an unforgettable journey, and side-by-side story examples to help you visualize what these techniques look like in writing. So if you want to take your inciting incident to the next level and keep your readers on the edge of their seat, this live training is for you. It is happening Sunday, September 1st, at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you can't make it to the live stream, don't worry, you will still have access to watch the replay as many times as you want. And when you sign up to get access to this live training, you also get access to my entire archive vault of previous trainings. And that's over 27 hours of in-depth teaching on topics like writing, character creation, editing, publishing, and so much more. So click the link below to save your spot. Space is limited and I want you to be there. I think you're going to love this training. It's going to be amazing and it's going to just up the stakes and the conflict so much in your story that your reader will not be able to put it down. Okay, let's get back into the do's and don'ts of the inciting incident. Let's look at the do's now. Make your inciting incident uniquely matter to your protagonist because of their internal conflict. It can't just be a thing that is disastrous for anybody to have to deal with, okay? Because then we could be watching this story unfold from the perspective of any one of your characters. This inciting incident has to be uniquely significant to your protagonist because of who they are. And yes, you can do this even with a survival scenario, even if it's a do or die scenario, because we can take it one step further beyond survival. What does survival mean to this character? What will they do if they survive? Why is it so important that they survive, other than the fact that they don't want to die? Remember, this isn't just a story about anyone. This is a story about your unique protagonist who has a unique comfort zone. And in order to be shoved outside that comfort zone, we first have to define what the comfort zone is to them. What is it that they struggle with internally? What are those fears that lie outside the boundaries of the comfort zone? What are those things they don't want to confront? What are those obstacles that are in the way of them achieving what they think is true happiness? Those fears are unique to this character, and those are the obstacles that they're going to have to overcome in order to go on a transformative journey. Do make the inciting incident happen as soon as possible. You may have heard that this story beat should show up around the 15% mark of your book or screenplay, but I would completely disagree with that. I would say make it happen as soon as possible, preferably in like the first 5 to 10 minutes of reading or watching. If you can make me care about this character's conflict on page 1, and then by the end of chapter 1, I'm already starting to see them getting pushed outside their comfort zone, that is golden. That is powerful. And if you're not sure how to incorporate your inciting incident into chapter 1, check out this podcast that me and my sister recently posted on exactly that topic, how to make your inciting incident happen in chapter 1. Don't save the good stuff. Give us the good stuff as soon as possible. Make us care, pull us in, make us curious, and then we're gonna be here for the rest of the ride. So bottom line, don't wait for the good stuff. Get the conflict started ASAP. And finally, do let your inciting incident trigger a chain reaction of conflict. This is the moment where your character is flung into the unknown and forced to face struggles and obstacles in pursuit of the thing that they always wanted. This is like the first domino that is falling down, and it's setting off a whole chain reaction of many other smaller conflicts. An entire story's worth of challenges. And giving your character this clear roadmap through those challenges is what's going to give your story a sense of momentum. Okay, we don't want it to be predictable, and it won't be predictable because you're going to throw plot twists and unexpected things at your protagonist. But you want their plan to be predictable in their own head. They think they know how this is gonna go. They have a plan, okay? And I like to call it a stupid plan because it's a fear-based plan. It's based off their fatal flaw, right? Because the thing that they want and they think is going to give them true happiness probably isn't actually going to get them true happiness because it's based on a misbelief. But they should have a clear idea of where they're going on this journey. Whether they're going to accomplish their goal by the end of the story or not, they should have an idea of how I'm going to steer clear of my fears and avoid what I don't like to get to the thing that I ultimately want. Okay, boom. There you have it. The top do's and don'ts of writing a compelling inciting incident. Hopefully you took some notes, and if you want to take your inciting incident to that next level and make it as juicy and conflict-ridden and character-driven as possible, click on the link below this video to save your spot at the live training that I'm hosting this weekend. I think you're going to love it. We're going to dive super deep into inciting incidents and show some side-by-side story examples so that you can really get a good idea of what these principles look like in action and how to apply them to your own story. Again, it's happening Sunday, September 1st at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when you sign up below, you also get access to all my previous live trainings, an entire archive vault filled with value, so I hope to see you over there. I think you will love it. Comment below and tell me, what is your favorite example of an inciting incident? Could be in your own story, could be in someone else's story, your favorite movie, whatever the case may be. I'd love to hear it. So comment below, join the discussion, and smash that like button if you liked this video. And be sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because I post writing videos every single Wednesday, and I would love to have you here in the community. I will see you this weekend at the live training. Until then, my friend, rock on.